Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 136. My name is Anisha. I am from India and I am a psychologist. I am a meditation teacher and I am also a life coach who basically help women to, uncover what they need most to live a fulfilling life and then to take daily steps towards that. So, this is a little bit about me. And I would love to know where you are from and are you joining for the very first time or have you been here before? Okay, hi Nakisha, welcome. I am so very happy to see you from the start today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Nakisha says Grand Rising. And hello Sumit, welcome again. Or maybe you are different Sumit, I don't know. Because the DP has changed. But yeah, anyways, you're welcome. I'm so happy to have you in this space as well. Okay, you are the same one. Okay, thank you for letting me know. And Nakisha is joining us from Kentucky for the second time. Yeah, I am so happy that you got something from that previous live and you decided to come back again. Okay, so anyone else who would like to introduce themselves or drop a hi, you can do so in the comments. And until you do that, let me share a little bit about this live as in what we do here. Okay. So we start these lives with a meditation of around 15 to 20 minutes. And that meditation is based upon the quote that you see when you open the Insight Timer app. So the first thing that you see on the page. So we are going to meditate upon that quote and try to feed that wisdom into our subconscious mind so that it can replace any limiting beliefs that we have in that area. Okay, so that is the meditation part. And then once we are done with the meditation and we are feeling more centered, our vibration has been raised, and then what we do is we move on to receive that higher wisdom that wants to come through our way. And we do that by spinning a wheel. Okay, so we have a wheel of wisdom. That wheel contains transformational books names. Okay, the books that I have read in the past, few years. We spin the wheel. The wheel chooses a book for us, whatever book the universe, God, spirit, divine, source, angels, ancestors wants to send our way. Okay. And then what we do next is we play a game where I ask you guys to choose a number, and then, based on a number that I am feeling intuitively called to, we do a reading and discuss that. So, this is a little bit about what we do here, and I will share more details when we get to each part. But for now, to begin the live, I would love to know that are you guys ready for a meditation? So, like, are you settled in a quiet place or wherever you would like to meditate? And if you are, type ready in the comments so we can begin with the meditation. Okay, so we have a ready from Nakisha and Sumit. Wonderful. So, let me take a sip of water and then we will begin. Okay, A is ready as well. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, a sip and then we will meditate. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to lie down or sit upright, whatever your body needs right now. lengthening your spine, resting your hands in your lap, on your knees, or by the sides of your body. And if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close, feeling your eyes resting in the sockets, and know that you can come back to full attention whenever you need it. But for now, rest your awareness on your breath. Notice the air flowing in and out of your nose. Feeling yourself relax more and more with each exhale. Feel your body melting deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Today, we are going to meditate and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Soren Kierkegaard. The quote is: life has its own hidden forces, which you can only discover by living. Life often asks us to move before we fully understand, to begin before we feel ready, and to trust before the path is clear. This meditation is for anyone standing at the edge of change, those who feel called towards something new but are held back by fear, uncertainty, or the belief that they must figure it all out before taking a step. This practice is especially for those who feel stuck, waiting for clarity, waiting for confidence, or waiting for the perfect plan. If you have been afraid of making the wrong move, if you tend to stay in your comfort zone, or if you have been living more in your mind than in your life, then this meditation is for you. Kierkegaard reminds us that life reveals its wisdom only through participation. Understanding doesn't come first, it arises as we move. The hidden forces that support us, redirect us, strengthen us, and guide us show themselves only when we engage with life, not when we are avoiding it. So, today's quote invites us, it invites us to trust the unfolding, to soften our grip on clarity, and to allow experience to teach us what mind cannot predict. So, in short, stop waiting for life to prove itself. Step forward and let it show its hidden magic. So as you let these words sink in, allow your body to relax from head to toe. Every single muscle, let go of any tension it has been holding on to. Every cell of your body is at complete ease. Allow yourself to drift deeper and deeper into a state of complete relaxation. As you rest here, allow these words to flow into your subconscious mind. These words are affirmations, and I will repeat each affirmation 2 times. For the first time, simply listen and let it sink in. And on the second time, I invite you to repeat that affirmation either silently in your mind or out loud. So let's begin. I discover truth when I play my part, not when I hide with a guarded heart. I discover my truth when I play my part, not when I hide with a guarded heart. Now repeat after me. I discover truth when I play my part, not when I hide with a guarded heart. I don't need the whole map today. My steps will light the way. I don't need the whole map today. My steady steps guide the way. Repeat after me. I don't need the whole map today. My steady steps light the way. The unknown holds wisdom I long to see. I open the doors meant for me. The unknown holds wisdom I long to see. It opens the doors meant for me. Repeat after me. The unknown holds wisdom I long to see. It opens the doors meant for me. When I release the need to stare, new paths and blessings appear. When I release the need to stare, new paths and blessings appear. Repeat after me. When I release the need to stare, new paths and blessings appear. I learn the truth as I take the chance, not by watching life from a distant stance. I learn the truth as I take the chance, not by watching life from a distant stance. I learn the truth as I take the chance, not by watching life from a distant stance. Meaning comes when I live my days not when I wait in my safe old ways. Meaning comes when I live my days, not when I wait in my safe old ways. Meaning comes when I live my days, not when I wait in my safe old ways. There is no wrong step to take, only lessons that helps me wake. There are no wrong steps to take, only lessons to help me wake. There are no wrong steps to take, only lessons that helps me wake. Every turn helps me grow. Each path has something to show. Every turn helps me grow. Each path has something to show. Every turn helps me grow. Each path has something to show. Support appears along the way in perfect time, in perfect play. Support appears along the way in perfect time, in perfect play. Support appears along the way in perfect time, in perfect play. Strength unfolds when life tests me. I find new depths I couldn't see. Strength appears when life tests me. I find new depths I couldn't see. Strength appears when life tests me. I find new depths I couldn't see. Courage grows when risks appear. Each brave step quiets the fear. Courage grows when risks appear. Each brave step quiets the fear. Courage grows when risk appear. Each brave step quiets the fear. My life expands when I dare to try. Each leap builds wings that helps me fly. My life expands when I dare to try. Each leap builds wings that helps me fly. My life expands when I dare to try. Each leap builds wings that helps me fly. I don't need perfection to begin. Courage helps the wheel spin. I don't need perfection to begin. Courage helps the wheels spin. I don't need perfection to begin. Courage helps the wheels spin. Courage opens every door. Life reveals what's in store. Courage opens every door. Life reveals what's in store. Courage reveals every door, opens every door. Life reveals what's in store. Life catches me as I leap. Its hidden forces run deep. Life catches me every time I leap. Its hidden forces runs very deep. Life catches me as I leap. Its hidden forces runs very deep. You did great. And now, as we reach the end of this meditation, return back to your body. So waking it up gently by bringing small movements like wiggling your toes and your fingers, moving it however it wants to be moved. And take a deep breath in and out. And whenever you feel ready, gently opening your eyes, arriving back in the space. If you feel like you can hydrate yourself, if you guys feel called to share your experience of the meditation, you are welcome to do that in the comments. Or if you would like to share your favorite affirmation, something that you would like to carry with you even after this live, then you can share that in the comments as well. And if you don't feel like typing, that's okay. And I see a lot of new people have joined us. So, welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. And in case you guys joined late or missed the meditation, I will share towards the end of this live where you can find this meditation. Okay. But for now, I guess it's time to dive into the second part of this live, which is about tapping into wisdom in a fun way. And for that, I would love to show you guys the wheel of wisdom. And by the way, hi Michael, welcome, welcome to the space. I hope that you enjoyed some of the informations. Okay, so let me show you guys our wheel of wisdom. So, this is our wheel of wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 50 transformational books that I have came across in my own journey of healing and personal growth. Okay, so now before we spin the wheel and see which book, the universe, God, divine, source, spirit wants to send our way, I invite you guys to take a moment and set an intention that may I receive something that is for my highest good. So, may I receive a message for my highest good. And if there is something specific that is going on in your mind these days, then you can bring that to your mind and ask the universe or God or whatever you call it to guide you through this wheel, through the book that is going to come up. So once you have set these intentions, let me know in the comments by typing ready so that we can spin the wheel and receive the book that wants to reach us. Okay, Jamie is ready. What about others? Have you guys thought of something regarding which you would like guidance? If you cannot type, you can also press the heart to let me know so that we can spin the wheel then. Okay, it's pretty quiet here. So I'm assuming that, you guys have thought of something because I know sometimes you guys don't feel like interacting much. So that's fine as well. Okay, so whatever it is that you guys thought, or at least Jamie thought, bring that to your mind as I spin the wheel. So the book that came for all of us here today is Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. It perfectly pairs with the meditation that we did today. So let's see what wants to come through from this beautiful book. So I'm just taking a moment to, open this book and choose some numbers so that we can play a game. Hmm. Okay. So, my dear ones, the instruction for this game is I am going to ask you guys to choose a number between certain numbers in a moment, okay? And Nakisha says, I'm working on my exit plan for my current job. Then I hope that you do receive some guidance regarding that because, since the book talked about uncertainty, which there is a lot of, that once I end or once I quit this, then what am I going to do next? Is it going to be, aligned with what I want, or, am I going to be able to do good in that? All of that kind of stuff comes up. So I hope that whatever fears that you have regarding that, you gain some guidance on that, Nakisha. And thank you for sharing what you are looking guidance on. So thank you for sharing that. Yes, I was sharing with you guys the instruction for the game, which is I would invite you guys to choose a number between two numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, take your time and see which number is coming up for you. Share that in the comments. I will go through all the comments and choose one number that I am feeling most called to, that my intuition says this is the one, okay? And then we will, do a reading based on that number. So I invite you guys to choose a number between 16 to 122. Here you go. Nakisha says, when I heard the title, I felt I needed to share. Yeah, I understand, it is not very easy to share our deepest struggles or the innermost thoughts. So I appreciate you for taking that step and sharing it, because maybe someone else might be going through the same thing and they might feel less alone when you share. And I'm glad that it resonated with you in that manner, the title. Okay, so we have some numbers. Thank you, John, Leslie, Jamie, Bikari, Nakisha. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Otherwise, we will just choose from these. Okay, so let's go with these numbers then and see what wants to come through. Okay, so the number that I am feeling called to is 74, and the number has been chosen by Bikari. Or if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, feel free to, type the phonetics of it. So, yeah, let's go to page number 74 and see what wants to come through for all of us. Okay. So why I'm smiling is because this is the exact so the heading that came up was experience your life. And this is this like beautifully blends with today's quote that we meditated upon. So yeah, let's see what wants to come through. So yeah, the author says, experience your life. A woman is running from tigers. She runs and runs, and the tigers are getting closer and closer. She comes to the edge of a cliff. She sees a vine there, so she climbs down and holds on to it. Then she looks down and sees that there are tigers below her as well. At the same time, she notices a little mouse gnawing away at the vine to which she is clinging. She also sees a beautiful little bunch of strawberries emerging from a nearby clump of grass. She looks up and she looks down and she looks at the mouse. So there are tigers above her. She's hanging from a vine. There are tigers below her. And there is a mouse chewing away at the very vine she is holding on to. Then she picks a strawberry which was growing nearby, on the grass. So she picks a strawberry, pops it in her mouth, and enjoys it thoroughly. Tigers above, tigers below. This is the predicament we are always in. We are born, and sooner or later we will die. Each moment is just what it is. Resentment, bitterness, and holding a grudge prevents us from seeing and hearing and tasting and delighting. This might be the only moment of our life. This might be the only moment of our life. This might be the only strawberry we will ever eat. We could feel depressed about this, or we could finally appreciate it. We could delight in the preciousness of every single moment. As I was reading that paragraph, what came to my mind was that sometimes how we, want like an easy way out, And the thing is that no matter the choice that you make, this way or that way, there are going to be challenges. For example, if you're choosing between a 9 to 5 job or if you're choosing between being a, you know, um, self-employed or solopreneur, entrepreneur, whatever it is, you know, if you are choosing between the two and you feel like, I would like an easy way, I would like, a way that has more ease and more peace. Then the thing is that both of these ways has their own set of challenges. No way is an easy way. And both ways are like, both tigers. There are going to be challenges and everything, not that kind of extreme death challenges, but yeah, there are going to be struggles. And I know it, whatever I'm saying might not perfectly relate with what I read, but this is what is coming up for me. So I feel like saying because I don't know who wants to hear this. So instead of, um, focusing on all those challenges that might happen or thinking that there might be an easy way, come back to this present moment, and then the next present moment that you will have when you choose either of those pathways, and savor the beautiful things in it, because just like there are going to be challenges, there is going to be something good about that path. Even if you feel like, I can't find something good in that. And I actually did that. I actually had a session with my client. I'm also a life coach. And, she believed that she hated her previous job, And when we looked at it, she did found some things that she really liked. So no matter what choice, what path it is, there are going to be certain things that you like. And the invitation is to focus on them like the strawberry and savor them in that, when they become your present moment. And for right now, if you are stuck in between making a choice and you are facing this uncertainty or this confusion or this lack of clarity, then in this moment also there might be something to savor upon, like there is this possibility of the thing going wrong, this path being the wrong one. But in this present moment, when you look at it, there are also possibilities for the path being the one, or, everything going right. So it's just our choice what we want to focus on, and a reminder to savor the good things that are here in the present moment. And a lot more, but I felt like the paragraph automatically conveyed everything that wanted to be the story. I've read the story a lot of times before, different versions of it, and I love it when these stories come back just when we need to hear them again and soak the lessons of these classic stories again. So, this was what was coming up for me, whether it was related to it or not. But yeah, that was it. And if you guys felt like saying something, adding something to it, or something is coming up for you as I read that paragraph, feel free to share that. And if it is applying to your situation, or if this is what you needed, or if it resonated, then share that also in the comments, because it helps me trust my intuition more when I get that feedback that, it was the right message at the right time for people. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie says definitely applies. Thank you. I'm glad that it resonates. Thank you. Okay, so let me take a sip of water and then we will move on to the next reading. And until then, if you guys, if this was exactly the message that you needed to hear at this moment, or the story that you needed to hear, or if you found anything up until now in this live helpful for you guys, then you can, then I invite you to consider supporting my work, to help me keep this space alive, because every contribution that you make goes towards creating more resources. So it not only helped me sustain this live, it also helped me create a lot of free meditations. I have around 100 free meditations and a lot of some other free stuff as well. So yeah, if you feel like making a difference that way, then you're welcome to do that. And if not, then that's fine. Nakesha says, it made me feel excited because I feel like I'm moving towards experiencing life. Reading that just opened my heart, and I feel so happy for you. And there's like this vision of just this bright light and such a dreamy state, when you step into that light. So thank you for sharing that, Nikisha. And I wish you that happens, that becomes your reality, and that you get to savor every single moment of it. Okay. And Bikri, if it resonated or whether it resonated or not, with you, you can share that as well because we chose your number. So I would love to know that if it didn't or if it did resonated. And Kristen says, good reminder to find simple moments of joy in the middle of dealing with chronic illness. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing that with all of us, that even amidst the most difficult period of our life, or even amidst, a thing that has been with us that has, caused a lot of suffering maybe in us. So, despite that, there is something that, is going well in our life. So, if even if our body is not working, or even if a part of our body is not working, there might be some part of our body that is. So there is always something. We just need to look for it. We just need to look for the simplest thing, not the most complex one, like the strawberry. So thank you for sharing that. And, especially with others who might be going through a chronic illness as well. And I'm sending you a lot of healing and ease as you go through your day. Okay, Nakisha is happy. Okay, so now let's move on to the next reading for today. Okay, let me see. Hmm. So, my dear ones, again, I invite you guys to take a second and hold whatever it is that you need guidance on in your mind as we spin the wheel. So, the book that came for all of us is The Mindful Path to Self Compassion, Freeing Yourself from Destructive Thoughts and Emotions by Christopher Germer. So let's see what this amazing book has to offer us. Give me a second to, choose some numbers so that we can play a game. Okay, my dear ones. So now I invite you guys to choose a number between 54 to 250. Again, no rush. I will pick a number randomly, okay? So yeah, share away. Thank you, Kristen. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Otherwise, Kristen is a clear winner. Okay, thank you, Nakisha. By the way, you guys' number are like pretty close. Anyone? Okay, thank you, John. Okay, so let's go with these numbers and see which one wants to come forward. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Martin. Okay, so now let's go with 62. And the number has been chosen by John for all of us. Thank you, John. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 62. So, the heading for this is How We Create Suffering. And give me a second to see should I read out the whole story to you because it might be longer. Okay, yeah, let's not go into the story. Yeah, okay. So, the author actually, shared an event from his life and then he broke down the event to see that, to show that how we create our own suffering. So, the point that he mentioned as to what happened was there was a simple sensation, for example, a discomfort, and then there was this aversion, like, I don't want to feel this way or I shouldn't feel this way, because whenever we are dealing with difficult emotions, for example fear, anger, then there is this second layer that comes up, second layer of resistance, second layer of aversion, that I don't like it, I don't want it, just keep this away from me. I just want to get rid of it, you know so there was this second layer that comes up. So first a simple sensation of the basic emotion, then there is aversion, okay, then there is a stronger emotion, and then there is entanglement in the emotion. We get sucked into that story, we are feeling overwhelmed by that emotion, then almost we take a regrettable action or something that we might feel guilty about later on. So so each step along the way from the bottom up, fighting the feeling amplified the problem. So the thing is that the initial feeling, the simple sensation that you had at the first moment, whether it was anger, sadness, fear, disgust, whatever the emotion was, that was not the issue. And the problem is never an emotion. It is simple energy, okay? The problem arises when we fight it, as the author says, when we resist it, when we are, when we have this reaction of aversion towards it. So so yeah, there is usually a sequence of internal events when we find ourselves very upset. So, it can sound like I don't like this feeling. I wish I didn't have this feeling. I shouldn't have this feeling. I'm wrong to have this feeling, or I am a bad person to have this feeling. So emotions just seem to get stronger the more we fight it. It's like mm, hmm, okay, it's like a child is crying, okay, and the child, the child is crying and it is asking for your attention, and that is the emotion within your body, okay. It is calling for your attention, that look here, look here, look here, look at me, look at me, it wants your attention. And then you are like, I don't like you. That emotion of anger or fear, you say to that part of you, I don't like you, I don't want you, you shouldn't be here, you don't belong in my body, you are like that. And what happens after that? The child cries louder, right? If you would say these things to a child, that child would get more upset, get more angry, whatever the emotion was. So that emotion will get stronger. And that was the third point that the author mentioned, that a simple sensation or emotion, then we resist it, and then there is a stronger emotion. Okay. So And wait a second. Yeah, then the stronger emotion. Then the next was entanglement in the emotion. For example, we also associated later on. So once the emotion gets stronger, then we are like, why am I always anxious? Why do I get angry? Why I am such a sad, depressed person? Now we identify with it. When the emotion gets stronger and it is not going away, what we do is we identify with it. We get entangled in it. We say that I am bad for having this emotion. So we involve our identity in that whole mix, which causes the problem to exacerbate. And when you are feeling that manner, when you are like, anxious, when you are angry, when you are sad, and there is this all this mix and there is this overwhelm, then the chances of you taking a healthy step next, the chances of you dealing with it in a healthy manner actually reduces. And the chances for you to react in a manner that is destructive for you and for others are high. And the reason is because when you are in that state, when you have these strong emotions, and when you have identified or, entangle yourself in those emotions, then the smart part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, so there is no connection with that. And this, more older part of our brain actually overpowers the part of our brain that is, controls the emotions and everything. So that part overpowers the logical part of our brains. So that, we are getting signals from that, and those signals are based upon our basic, instincts of fight, flight, freeze. So that is why we end up doing something that we regret later. So, this is the whole cycle. And it would have been so, the thing is that what is the solution? What could we have done then? Then we got to know what happens, we got to know the mechanism behind it. Now, the thing that we could do is if we hadn't resisted in the first place, then this whole cycle would not have followed. So you got the fear, you got the sadness, you got the anger, and then you didn't resist it by saying, I shouldn't have this. Why is this here? All of those things that you say to resist it, to fight it, to get rid of it. So if you don't do that, if you don't resist, then this whole cycle would not follow. And and it would take time, it would take practice. and and sometimes you would catch yourself later and you would need more techniques to tone down the overwhelm so that this logical part get online again instead of going offline, which it did before. So sometimes you might need additional techniques. Sometimes if you intervene earlier enough and stay with it, then you would be able to take a healthy, do a healthy behavior, cope in a better manner. And before I go to the comments, which I see there is one, I wanted to ask you guys that I do have two resources regarding this thing that I mentioned. One resource will help you, one resource contains all the different techniques that you can use to regulate yourself when you have gone later to the later part of that cycle, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling, when you have got into that fight, flight, free state, and you are like, all the way there. So there is this one resource, and then there is second resource which will help you actually. If you are not resisting, then what else to do? So if you want to, learn that how you can be with that sensation or emotion so that it, fades away on its own and this whole cycle do not follow. So if you would like me to share, these two resources, let me know in the comments and I will, share them if you need them. Okay. John says, I don't want this pain. Lots of suffering in rehab for complex surgery. Did I make the right decision to have operation done? A lot of fear. I see that, it's normal to look back at the decisions that we made and, think that what would have happened if I didn't make that decision. Because sometimes we are in a lot of suffering for what is happening right now in our present moment. And my question is that when you do that, when you think about what it would have been like if I didn't opted for surgery because it was a complex surgery and it is, you are in a lot of pain, as you go through that rehab, it is taking a lot of energy and time and it is spoiling your mood maybe. Then to reflect back that how would thinking in that manner, when I think in that way, what happens in me? How does that make me feel? Because another thing is that chances are it doesn't make you feel good, but you still do it because the sensations within your body are sometimes too much, or at least our mind thinks it is too much, that I cannot handle what is happening right now. So let me switch back to the past and think about all the things that I could have done and bear that pain that I can maybe bear, but not this one. So that's why sometimes our mind uses thinking to bypass the emotions that we are feeling, to cut our connection to whatever is happening within us. So I'm not sure if that is what is happening for you, but I felt like, sharing that and to give you something to reflect upon. And, going back to the first reading and see, bringing a passion for what you're going through right now, but also noticing the things in your life right now that are going well. So, bringing both in balance if it is, if focusing on this pain is kind of like sucking the life out of you. So maybe bringing a little balance with that as well. So I'm not sure if it helped or not. Let me know, John. What are your thoughts if I misunderstood anything? Because it is sometimes harder to understand on, text or on the chat. John says, I need to trust the outcome after many years of pain. So what came up for was, for you was faith or trust. And not just trust in, something larger than yourself, but trust in, I guess your own strength because you have been in pain for a lot of time and you have endured it. And it takes a lot of strength to do that, a lot of resilience. So I'm sending you, few moments of peace and ease as you go through that and a lot of healing. And I hope that you can be with that fear, not just in terms of being with the thoughts of all those fearful thoughts, but be with that fear in your body, like like you're being with little John maybe. Kathy says, John, you are strong and praying for your complete healing. Love that, Kathy. Okay, so okay, I guess it's time to wrap this live. So Now, there are usually two endings of this live. The first ending is for the first group of people who are regular here, who have been here before, and who knows what I'm going to say next. Okay. So if you guys feel like, saying goodbye and going to the next task of your day, then you're welcome to do that. And I would love to, see you again here day after tomorrow. And if you want to stay, you can do that as well. And now there are second group of people who are joining for the very first time, and or you haven't stayed till the end. So for those of you, I would like to share certain resources that I've created for you guys to help you, move forward, or to help you deal with whatever is happening in your life. Okay. So I am, going to share them in a while. Um, uh, yeah, and the first thing that I want to share before I even dive into the resources is that in case any one of you joined late in today's live, or if you guys would like to, go through the meditation again, or listen to the readings again, then the way, where you can catch up on today's live is, give me a second to open it. Yeah. So you can go to my profile, my teacher's profile on Insight Timer, and go to the About section, scroll all the way down, and here at the bottom, you will find something like this. And here you will find a way to access today's live, which was episode 136 of Wheel of Wisdom, and also all the previous live up until now in this particular series. Okay. So, you can go through today's meditation, which was based upon the quote that you see when you opened Inside Timer app. Okay. And you will find some more things here as well. Mary says, thank you. I came in late. I am, glad, Mary, that, this was helpful. The recordings are helpful. And I'm happy to have you. Um, yeah, and in case you don't like watching the whole video, then, and if you just want the summary of the readings, not the meditation, then the other way where you can find the summary is you can go to my profile, go to the home section there, scroll all the way down, and at the bottom you will see my little group here. So the name of this is Wonderful Beings, and there are over 100 people here. So what I do in this group is within 5 or 10 minutes of this live ending, I post a summary of the type of meditation that we did, the names of the book through which we read, and the exact reading so you don't miss out on anything. So if you want to, catch up on the summary or be updated about what is happening in my world, then you can join that group as well. Thank you for all the hearts. And now coming to the resources that I have for you. So, there are three places where you can find all the resources that I've created for you guys. So, the first place is just above the group here. You will see a playlist, okay? So, there are these four playlists, and I have organized all of my tracks in the form of these playlists, okay? So, it is easier for you guys to navigate through. And, and one of these playlist includes like the nervous system regulation techniques that I was mentioning before. Like if you are in the later part of that cycle when you're feeling overwhelmed, then you can use these techniques to bring this logical part of your brain online and to help you feel centered and everything. Okay. And you can check out the other playlists that I have here, after the live, so it do not consume a lot of other people's time. Okay. So, this was the first place where you can find all of my resources. The second place is the courses section. Okay, so almost next to the home section on my profile, you will see a courses section, and the section contains 7 courses. Okay, so this is about how to live more mindfully with more presence, awareness, consciousness. This is about how to stop chasing and start living your life, get out of the mindset of I will be happy when this happens and start being, right now. This is the course regarding identifying all the unhelpful ways of thinking, not just some random, thinking patterns, but the ones that are rooted in therapeutic approaches and also specific techniques to deal with each type of thinking, pattern that is not helpful. So you can find out which one do you have. And this one help you, this one includes all the techniques that I know of to identify your limiting beliefs, the hidden beliefs that are controlling, the results that you're getting in your life. This course is about a step, it gives you a step by step process rooted in CBT, a therapeutic approach, and it helps you, identify your thoughts, challenge them, and change them into something helpful, not just positive, but helpful. And then we have the sixth course, which is about how to find beauty and peace and wonder and awe that you used to feel, as a child right now in this moment without having to change anything about it. Okay. And this final course is about the art of acceptance when life doesn't go your way. So, if you're going through a hard time, or if you want to learn how to process whatever is happening instead of, suppressing it or getting rid of it, how to process that feeling instead of resisting it, the one that we talked about, then you will find a guided meditation to help you do that, to help you learn that process of feeling your feelings. Okay. So these are all the 7 courses, and you can check the ones out that resonated with you. And if it didn't, or if none of the things that I have mentioned resonated, with what you're going through, or, if none of the things are what you were looking for right now, then I have this third place where you can find or access all the, rest of the resources. Um, so yeah, if you didn't found the solution up until now, then you will find that here. So where it is, so you will go to the about section of my profile, scroll all the way down, and here at the bottom you will see this. And here you will, if you feel called to work more personally with me or talk with me more personally about whatever it is that you're going through, then you can do that, here. And it also includes a little bit about my journey, what I went through. And it has some more special surprise gifts for you. So yeah, I hope that some of it resonated with you. Any of these resources that shared with you resonated, and I thank you for listening to me so patiently. And if you guys found any value out of today's live, whether it was the meditation or the readings, and if you feel like supporting my work, then you can do so by making a donation, because every donation that you're going to make is going towards creating more resources, more free stuff for those who need it, but they can't access it because of money or something. So yeah, if you want to help me do that, then you are welcome to make a contribution towards that. And yeah, that's it for this live. Thank you for your presence, for all the lovely, interaction, for the hearts. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. I will see you day after tomorrow. Namaste, Chandan.